Hi, today we'll be exploring Market View's curve feature. Our curve feature builds a forward curve so that we can see how the market has settled over time in relation to future contracts. To build a forward curve, we'll click Curve at the top, and I'll expand it to the screen. Now, in order to build a curve, we're going to need to use a futures root. In order to get that futures root, we're going to go here to Edit, and we'll go through our symbol tree. For today's example, we'll be using Brent crude. To find Brent, we'll scroll down our symbol tree, which is in alphabetical order by vendor exchange, and we'll go to ICE Futures Europe. I'll double click and follow the path. Futures root, crude, Brent crude, crude oil futures. I'll double click and it'll come into the queue. Now, one of the things that we like to do when building a forward curve is hit the drop down arrow, go to where it says date latest, where we can choose is whatever date we want to build the curve from. We always suggest that at the earliest you build from 1 day ago. What this will do is just ensure that you have a completed forward curve because we know that the market has already settled. Once that you selected that date, select OK, and there you have your curve. Now, we have a lot of features, but a couple that we'll point out today will come from our right click. So if we right click inside of the curve, this window will appear. The few things that we'll point out today will be the first one is Add Study. If you hover over that, we have over 50 different studies and analytics that you can apply to this curve. Everything from Bollinger Bands to moving average. To add a moving average, I'll simply just scroll over and click, and it'll default to a 20-day moving average. To remove this, I'll simply right click on it and delete. Another thing to point out is if we right click again, we can go to where it says date and we can change that date again. So if we wanted to build this same curve from a month ago, I'll click 1 month and there's our curve. If you notice, we also had the option to add a spread. Through Market View, you can build spreads such as correlations or differentials. And to do that, we'll add another curve to this. To add a curve, I'll go to Edit. And we'll create a spread today between Brent crude and WTI. I could use the symbol tree to go down to NYMEX and pull in WTI, but for the sake of time, I'll go to my Recents tab and pull in the root symbol here. I could also enter in that root symbol up here if I knew what it was. I'll make sure that I set my WTI curve to match my Brent to 1 month ago. Click OK. Now I have my 2 completed curves. To add the spread, I will right click again, go to Add Spread, Differential. Brent crude is already selected at the top. I'll simply go to Symbol List and double click on the WTI symbol. We have both symbols. I'll select OK. And a beautiful differential will appear on the pane below. The last feature that I'll show will be our mouse tracking feature. If I right click inside of the pane again, mouse tracking is the third to last from the bottom. If I hover over that and then select data window, that's going to put a small window down here in the bottom left-hand corner of my screen, and it'll give me crosshairs where the mouse is. If I hover anywhere inside of the curve, it'll give me the exact date and the prices of the symbols shown. Thanks for tuning in and have a great day.